have a look at this. This is a Triumph Rocket 3R. Oh my goodness. Catch you inside. RevelatorAlf. Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. Hoping you enjoy the channel and the series of videos. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share, and check out the website, RevelatorAlf.com. Look at this beauty. I'm trying out this Roadster from Triumph. Well, it's a Roadster on steroids, really, isn't it? Basically, would it suit for a long distance ride, tourer kind of ride? Now, this comes in two variants. It comes in this one, which is a Roadster, really, which is a 3R. Mid-mountain controls, kind of naked. This is stock configuration. Or you got the GT, which is more the cruiser, forward mounted controls, a back pad as well. You can have a little rack as well. It does come with semi-hard luggage on it as well. You can as an option, and there'll be aftermarket bits on it as well. Okay, so this is coming in at 19,500 base price. Let's just get into some stats, shall we? Okay, so it's a 3-cylinder engine, 2,500cc. That's a 2.5 litre, liquid cooled and dual overhead cam. Now, check this out. 165 brake horsepower and 221 newton meters. You definitely feel it. It's ride-by-wire, and it's fuel injected as well. Okay, on this side, basically it is shaft drive, 6-speed transmission as well. It's got an aluminium frame, and you got cast wheels front and rear, 17-inch front, 16-inch rear, and they are chunky beasts as well. I mean, look at that thing. And also on the front. Whilst they're chunky, they are wide tyres, but it goes round a bend. Beautifully sweet. Okay, so front suspension, upside down forks with 120mm of travel. Rear suspension, you've got this kind of monoshock lever system that they've got here on Triumph, and that's 107mm of travel. Beautiful exhaust here, lovely. Brakes, dual disc front brakes, 320mm and 4-piston calipers. And on the rear it's a single brake disc of 300mm and a 4-piston caliper. Single-sided swing arm here. Quite a high spec on this as well. Cornering ABS, traction control. It's got different modes, rain, road, and you can alter those as well, whichever you want. Very basic layout when everything's switched off, but this kind of TFT LCD screen comes alive, and it's really nice little layout. All controlled by this little toggle switch here. There's your mode selector there. It all looks really grand. And it's got cruise control on this as well, which is all good. Okay, width is 889mm, height is 1065mm, seat height is a 773mm, it's a really nice height, wheelbase is 1677mm, dry weight, it's a big old thing, 291 kilograms, tank is 18 litres, and it's giving you just over 41 miles per gallon, apparently. Right, enough of this. It's a beautiful bike to look at, to ride, lovely riding position. Let's just get on it and talk about the ride, shall we? Turn on the electrics. All this comes alive here. Press it down, pull in the clutch. Oh, you've almost got that side shuffle here, similar to the BMW Boxer engines, but you shouldn't have it, but I say you've got it on here. Right then, let's give it a go, shall we? Oh, beautiful. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to take you on some back road suspension there, not too bad, going over that little speed bump. Gonna go on some urban streets, and then get onto the main motorway, just for a little bit, and then take it on some back roads, and give you an all-round impression of this bike. So, initially, although it's a big heavy bike, really well balanced, really nice. And the power, it's almost like there's too much power going to the rear wheel, the rear tyre. It doesn't slip and slide so far, but you can feel there's a lot of torque being put down on that rear tyre. This is a monster. Right, here we go. Beautiful. It's got a lovely purr to it, but every now and again you kind of roll off the throttle to change gear, and it's got this kind of single cylinder thumper pop to it, if you know what I mean. It's lovely. Maybe just kind of, let me just let go of it here. Maybe you can hear that. It's lovely. It's a real dull tone. It's really nice. So lovely balance. It's just beautiful. You would think big heavy bike, big front tyres and everything. Oh, but no, it just goes in a bend so right. Do you know what? They've created a bike here, a big powerhouse bike that you could easily use on a daily basis, no problem at all. And it will go, it feels big, massive chunky, really wide. It feels like a big bike, but at the same time it doesn't. It feels really slender, it feels really small. You know, you've got this longitudinal 3-cylinder engine that they've got put in here, and all the weight is just centralized. It's right down the middle. It's really, really nice. Braking, yeah, on point, as you would imagine. Yeah, just a slight bit of dip on the front suspension, but you know, that's to be expected. But it's progressive braking. It isn't, it isn't snatching. It's really nice. Yeah, these bars are lovely, very kind of roadster-like. You know, you've got that authority, that wide stance. You know, this is British Bulldog at its best. You know, you're kind of sat like this, growling, ready to pounce. Now, you might think, God, here we go, he's off again. But no, you kind of get this impression from it. It is like that. Look, when we say just riding around, town here, it is really light, really maneuverable, no dramas at all, and you could definitely use this as a commuter bike, as a daily ride in and out of town, no problem at all. It's just lovely gearing, lovely gear changing and clutch operation, lovely and light, beautiful. Hydraulic clutch as well. I mean, a hydraulic clutch, of course, hydraulic brakes, standard stuff there. These modes here, there's your road mode right on the top here. So basically just change the mode on the fly, just press the mode button, and then you can just go into whatever mode you want. This layout here is really nice. You got the modes all clearly indicated. You can change the facing, change the readout. You know, all these bikes these days have got all the modern tech, haven't they? And it's just really nice. Really, really sweet, really small, but works really well. I thought you'd be looking down a lot. I thought you'd be distracted from the road quite a lot, but it's not. It's really bright. It's right there, and it's yeah, just a quick glance down. There we go, back up, lovely. Right, time to get this on the open road. Now, it's got these great twin lights at the front, and it's kind of got this almost very small nose fairing, as it were. Let's just see how much wind is taken off the rider at higher speed. Oh, just a little blip of the throttle and you're off. You are off. This 3R, because it's a roadster version, you kind of lent more onto the bars as well. I've got a feeling that's GT, whilst it'd be really capable, I think you're going to feel a bit of a rearward swing as you really open it up hard. But this one, you're sat on it. Oh, it just goes into a bend really nicely. Right, open it up. Oh, look at the sound of that. Beautiful. Lovely. Absolutely awesome bike. Awesome bike. Great. 6 gear, cruising along, 70 miles an hour. Yeah, really, really nice. This is just purring along. You're not sat upright completely, but you're sat in such a perfect position almost. These mid-mountain controls, you're not cramped either. And I'm a big guy, just over 6 foot. You're not cramped on here, but it's almost like you've got an assured position. I say that bulldog position, almost a little bit motocross stance, if you know what I mean. It is just great. You're right there, elbows out. Come on, this is what they teach you as a kid. Grip the handlebars, elbows out. Let's go, bulldog. Beautiful. The torque on it, top gear, pulling away. Ho, ho, ho. Beautiful. Now, I'm wearing a full face helmet, of course, but I'm not feeling any excess. I'm not feeling any excess wind. It's really strange. It's really odd. It's just a really comfortable bike. Really is. Very sweet indeed. The thing is, could you sit on this all day on a long tour? I've got a feeling you could. The seat is really super comfortable, really nice. It's not your typical touring seat, as it were. You know, but it feels really spongy, really nice. It feels as if you're all contained on there. It's just lovely. There's a little lip right at the rear of it where the the pillion seat starts, and that kind of holds you in there. Front suspension, yeah, you're getting a bit of feedback from the road, but it's nice. It's not, you're not colliding over the road, but you're not being pounded by the road either. It's just really nice. These big tyres are, I've got to say, they add to the stability as well. Steering at speed, yeah, counter steering, yeah, look, it's stable, it's not twitchy as you expect. Nice big long wheelbase on this as well. It's a heavy bike, you kind of expect all this. What's that? Oh yeah, that's a Triumph power outlet right there. There we go, that's quite interesting. It's interesting, actually. You lean forward. If you lean forward, you start getting buffeted by the wind a little bit. You lean back, and this little fairing up here really starts acting. It's daft, isn't it? Just a tiny little thing, but that's just enough to get the airflow coming over you as opposed to right into you. Right, let's get this on some back road, shall we? Oh, into the bends here. Rolling over. Oh, leaning over. Every time you blip the throttle when you're stationary, you get that kind of side swing. If it's almost telling you, oh, be careful, be careful. It's like it's a raging bull, you know. Oh. Now this is in a dry conditions, of course. I'm going to take it on some back roads where I think it hasn't quite dried out yet. Let's just see how comfortable you feel, because as I say, there's a lot of torque, there's a lot of power going into this rear tyre. You just want to see. You kind of get the feeling you could ride this all day, but is it going to be a practical tourer? Definitely a longer commuter, you definitely do it. Definitely a daily commuter, shorter distances. In town, open road, yes, great, tick, tick, tick. But if you want to use this as a tourer, let's say, with the side panniers that you can buy for it, these kind of semi-soft or semi-hard luggage, you can get a tail packer for the rear seat. You can strap something to the luggage rack or the seat rack as well as an optional extra. So there's things that you can buy for this bike, or if you go for the GT version, that you could turn into a decent tourer. But would you want to go really long distances? So far, I've got to say, it's almost like this is your perfect tourer without the touring chassis, without the touring fairing. You're so comfortable on it. You're in such a great seating position, riding position. There's just nothing to fault it on. It's just an absolute beast of a bike. Oh, it just rolls into the bends. It's really light. Lovely balance. But you just feel as if there's a lot of power here. You just got to be careful how you apply it. Well, okay, let's see what this is made of, shall we? Got some air there. That was nice. Oh, I can feel this is. Be careful with these kind of roads, guys. It's dry, then it's wet, dry, then wet, and leaves. So I'm going to take it very conservative here. Lots of moss on this road as well. Yeah, I'm not going to wind it on here. It doesn't, a slow speed, of course. It doesn't feel that out of place, I've got to say. It feels all right. I'm still lovely balanced. That tyre is holding up really quite nicely. Yeah, it's all right. Oh, you are propelled out of the seat there. Yeah, if you don't time the rolling off the throttle just right, you will launch off it. I think when you get this bike,
you've got to know in yourself when you apply the power and when you don't. There's just so much of it. Oh, wow, wow, there's just so much of it. There really is. Oh, into the bends. Let's have a look. Oh, it just glides through it. It really does. Do you know what? This is the big muscle bike, the big tourer, but it's not a tourer, of course. It's a roadster, but it's not a roadster. It's a cruiser, but it's not. It's everything combined and more with a whole load of testosterone. It is just an awesome ride. Oh dear, you're making my life very difficult here. You know, decisions. You know, this is really difficult. Really difficult, because you think, no, this can't be right, this can't be suitable for my kind of riding, but it is. It ticks so many boxes. It is just an awesome bike. Oh dear, oh dear. Wow. You know, I'm gonna ride this a little bit more here. This is just so good, so good. Triumph, they've done a brilliant job here, and I gotta say, this is my first time on a rocket ever, so you know, I'm really impressed with this Rocket 3, really am. And if you ride one of these, let us know what you think. If you've ridden the previous incarnations of the Rocket, almost like a totally different bike, aren't they? But this is just awesome. It's a massive engine, it's a massive amount of torque, it's a massive amount of horsepower for a bike, and it just uses it so well. The balance of this bike, the suspension, the chassis, the way it tracks on the road, it's just awesome. This is really horrible, slippery stuff on here. I don't feel out of control. You know, I don't feel as if it's, you know, getting away from me. Obviously, I'm controlling everything with my right hand. You know, that's what you have to do. You can't blame the bike if you're just giving it the beans on these kinds of roads. But it just feels assured. As soon as you get onto the dry stuff, you ping the throttle and it just launches off. And that tyre, it's almost wanting to lose traction, but it doesn't. Just to the last minute, it's kind of holding on for dear life, just to, you know, give you what you need. It is, oh, it is awesome, absolutely awesome. I'm just going to blip that throttle there. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Look, what can I say about this bike? What can I say? It is a peach. It really is a peach. So look, let's get into final verdict time, shall we? Let's just tell you what I think. Yay! That's what I think. That's what I think, guys. That's it. It's fun. It's going to be a bike that you could use for anything. It is fun, though. Really is. I'm putting this bike through its paces on these back roads with this suspension, and it's handling it okay. It's handling it all right with power. Oh, so nice. So much balance, clutch control. Oh, just lovely. It's hard enough to be able to feel confident to go around a bend as well. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, look, the decision now is yours, isn't it? And it's also mine. This is the decision for me. Is this a suitable bike, an alternative cruiser, an alternative to the touring capability, the alternative for an all-round fun bike? Because this is also what I'm mindful of. I don't want a bike that, do you know what, I'm just not going to be, you know, happy to ride or not having fun on. I want to have fun on a ride. Oh, if you're looking for something different, if you're looking for something that, you know, you're going to pull up somewhere and people are going to go, no matter what they ride, okay, no matter what they ride, they're going to turn around and go, wow, now that's a cool bike. Okay, this is the bike you want. If you want performance, if you want retro styling, if you want something different, if you want street cred, curb appeal, whatever you're thinking, okay, and you want, you know, to be able to fling it around a bend, and you want to be able to strap some bags to it and go on a longer ride and feel comfortable. This is the key thing here. You feel comfortable in the shoulders, in the back, in the, you know, in your derriere. Wow. Wow, what can I say? There aren't many bikes in this world that do that, are there? There aren't many bikes that do this kind of thing. Now, obviously, if you're looking for any kind of bike with this amount of power, that, you know, is at your fingertips or at your right hand, let's say, you've got to be mindful of how you use that power, especially as you saw, you know, on the on those back roads there, when, you know, it gets wet and slippery. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be able to handle it, but it's one of those things you're going to have to get used to it, aren't you? And obviously, it's my first time on it, so hey, look, you know, I can't say I'm used to it. You don't know how much it can take before it loses it. What a ride. I thought because there's nothing there, you would really suffer with the airflow. On the back roads, no, it doesn't make a difference, but on the motorway, but you don't. You lean back a little bit and let it do what it's supposed to do, and it works fine, absolutely fine. Well, there we go. I've been looking for possibly a different bike, possibly a tourer that's capable of tourer, but also having some fun as well. Oh, crikey, it's expensive, I'll give you that. 19,500 for a base model, and then you're gonna have to add things to it if you want to, of course. So, you know, let's just get into the mid 20,500, 21,000, let's say, if you want to start speccing it out. But it's a lot of bike here. This is a lot of bike, especially, now you can take a pillion on here as well, but I've got a feeling this bike is really for your solo riding experience. If you want to take your pillion, you know, I would go for the GT more than this road. So if you want the solo riding experience, go for this one. Definitely go for this one. It is just awesome. Right, anyway, listen, I'm going to take this back and tell them that I'm very tempted. I've got to say, tell them that I'm very tempted. Let's see about next spring. Let's see if I still feel the same when I'm ready to make the plunge. But this is a great bike. Triumph Rocket 3R, the roadster version. Absolutely brilliant bike. Well done, Triumph, well done. I wasn't sure about this. I wasn't sure if it was going to be my kind of thing, but you have converted me. Ho, 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 yes, you've converted me. Well, there we go. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Check out the website RevelatorAlf.com. There are a couple more videos coming right at the end of this one, so make sure you check those out, and I'll catch you again on another video coming very soon. You never know, I might be riding this, and this time I actually really mean it. Wow, wow, wow. Ta-da.